Hello my friends, I'm Pastor Van, and this is my channel. Welcome to all of my human, demi-human, and other friends. Special greetings to all my unexpected and recent new friends. If you like any or all of this video, please feel free to hit the like button below. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. One of these days, I might make a nickel. Before I start, I'd like to apologize. Some of this video is scripted. I may from time to time look away from admiring your visages to consult the electronic device to which I have saved my reminders. I come to you all tonight naked, bereft of all my glorious trappings. My hair is up rather than flowing gracefully down from my head. My nails are nude. My skin is unaltered by the pigmentation of cosmetic miracles. My clothes are simple and work typical. My only jewelry today is my basic hoop earrings, and only because I rarely take them out. My goal, however, is not to make any particular video involving hair or makeup. This is just an example of my typical day-to-day work clothing. Sadly, no, this video is just a response to recent events involving yours truly. Not a response to any person or group, just to what became an unfortunate situation. Just recently, I became sick. I was sick through that Friday. Some interesting things started on Facebook and YouTube that Thursday. Starting late Wednesday night and into Thursday, I noticed I was getting a lot of friend requests on Facebook. I was getting a lot of messages, particularly on Thursday. Thursday evening, I got a message on my YouTube channel, on one of my videos. Be warned, people in the community are slandering your name and trying to make you out to be unfit for your job. I am sorry on behalf of them. I, however, think you are interesting. March on. I liked part of that message. Now, I was told initially, when I started looking into this, that this was an issue because somebody's kid had found my videos. I was told later that no, in fact, it was a parent who had found it. That made more sense. But then again, how? Because my YouTube channel doesn't really cater to the people in my community. And later I was told that this kid found a video and shared it with another kid. And all I could think was, how? This channel is barely tied to its own Facebook page and barely to my own personal Facebook page. And I can't imagine what a kid would be searching for on YouTube that they would find my channel. Unless they had a particular affinity for hearses or anime or cosplay or mohawks or cooking steaks. And shortly before I called my teacher and my principal, I changed those videos to 18 plus only. That way, at the very least, if anybody who shouldn't be accessing my videos accessed them, it would have to have been through their parents' account and not their own. Most recently, though, a couple of people that I trusted informed me that a parent had found my video and were deeply offended by my use of the F word. People, I had my videos marked, no, it's not made for kids. I made a call to my teacher, talked to my teacher. My teacher was aware of what was going on and reassured me, not a problem. Asked me a few questions, moved on. I sent some messages to my principal, who again reassured me that everything was fine. It was just somebody blowing off steam. Then I started having some people that I didn't know messaging me on Facebook along with the friends requests. The person who I will call the original poster, or OP, posted something up. There was some commentary from a relation of theirs. There is another person who I shall refer to as the parent, who is another individual. They were the biggest part of this interesting debacle. So now I'm sent a series of images, screenshots of a conversation involving myself, of which I am not a part. This is what's working at our school. He drives a hearse to the school every day, wears a black trench coat. I mean, this is what I would want my kids around. I find this repulsive. This dumbass has a whole YouTube channel of this shit. Now, right off the bat, if you look, it says time to talk about hearses, cosplay, and more. I can see, because of past events, where hearses might be an issue, but cosplay. And then at the very bottom of this first post is a comment from someone who is the wife of a business person in town, making comment on someone as if they won't ever have to worry about it. And this person says, "What in the actual hell?" To which the OP comments, "Right. This fucker is our neighbor too. If we get murdered." And the OP's relative says that this is my kid's parrot in school. OP says, "Are you kidding me? That better change, and quick." And then again, the wife of the local business person says, "I don't know how you keep a job at school doing this kind of crap." Well, just so you know, you do your job. Go figure. Keeping a job because you know how to do your job. The OP goes on to say, "Exactly. When he portrays himself the way he does, I don't know how he has a job with children." Again, because I do my job. Someone who I do not know says, "What the actual he needs to go to Larnard Hospital." I didn't know what that was. I had to look it up. Although apparently this person knows what it is. It's the biggest psychiatric hospital in Kansas. So then the person who I'm referring to as the other parent comes in with, "Wow, he doesn't look exactly like he did when he was working with Redacted," because it's one of the kids. I'm not going to mention kids' names. But he used to try to let Redacted go work on that church building with him, and I would get uncomfortable and tell him no. I do remember that guy, but just not like that. So as you'll see in a moment, this person also, later on in the conversation, commented that they had been trying to forward this thread to as many people as they possibly could, and they were being blocked by Facebook for spamming. The only person who I contacted directly as a result of this conversation was the parent, because I know the parent. I knew them and their spouse. In fact, I met them before I even worked at the school, and it all started one day when a minivan broke down across the street from me, and I went out and rolled around in the dirt on the ground underneath the van with the spouse, trying to find out what was wrong with their minivan so they and their kids could go home after school. Now, this person in our series of private messages made a lot of excuses relating to their poor physical and mental well-being, their bad situations, a lot of different things as an excuse, I think, for why they were involved in this conversation. They suggested that I misunderstood what they had said, even though they did later in that conversation say that they had been trying to forward it to everyone that they could and couldn't because they were being blocked. Ultimately, this is what I got in response, after all was said and done, from parent. I really do apologize for what I said. I went ahead and posted a public apology after I got my brain pan back on a bit straighter as well, because I was way out of the line. I've been getting counseling for a while now, but I'm sure you know it takes a while to untangle a screwball. No, I don't know. I don't intend that to be an excuse, though, whatsoever. It only gives me more reason to give you kudos for the cool way you responded while I was still having an episode of my own. I hope you are having a good evening. I certainly hope that they do not have episodes often, as it could only cause further problems for them and their family. So here it is. I'm sitting here forwarding this message out, and I got stopped because I'm being abusive. OP, seriously, on Messenger. And then the OP says, someone needs to post it to me, buy, sell, trade. Now, a lot of people are familiar with these groups on Facebook, local buy, sell, trades. Someone needed to post it to a public forum that I had videos that they didn't like, and it made me a horrible person. Now, if it had gone beyond this private conversation, which they're totally entitled to have, to be honest, then it becomes a matter of harassment. So the parent says, well, do it or message someone else too, because I'm not there anymore. Then it goes on for a while, a bunch of personal conversation, mostly about how all these people are no longer on the buy-sell trade because they were removed. Go figure. And then suddenly, someone who does not have any issue with me being a human being pops up and says, shame on you for bullying this guy. He did nothing to you. Get a job and stop living off the government. A little bit harsh. Obviously, you have nothing to do but stalk people. That's one of my suspicions. I feel sorry for all the unhappiness your heart carries. Go on and insult me because that's all you know, and yes, I'm deleting myself off of your friends list. And that's unfortunate. Somebody should lose a friend over this. But then again, with friends like that, who needs enemas? And then another fellow, who I have no idea who he is, says, is he have any hospital management experience? Now, I'm not quite sure if that's a joke or a dig, because we are currently having problems with our local hospital. There's a few more people that stand up for me in this forum, people who know this OP, and I appreciate all their work. It was absolutely unnecessary for them to have involved themselves in this conversation, but I do appreciate it. And there were a series of personal attacks between the parent, the OP, and various other people, distracting them from the idea of the post, which was basically just to dig on me. One comment made in my favor, you are being disgusting. He is a better person than you. I don't know, because again, I don't know these people. Frankly, they don't know me. So my thoughts on the screenshots of the post. First, I drive a hearse. I don't drive a lifted pickup. It's not my taste. And frankly, when I go for compensation, I go for length. I do wear a trench coat. It's one of the pieces of clothing that I got thrifting that I intended to show in a video that I haven't made yet. It's long, it's heavily lined, and it's very warm until it gets close to freezing, and then I switch to the fur coat. I think they're just jealous of my incredible fashion sense and how good I look in a black leather trench coat. It's funny that they should pick my video, my trench coat, and my hearse to complain about. They didn't say anything about my earrings. They didn't say anything about tattoos, my painted nails, my habitually black clothes, my long purple hair, my fur coat, my church building. So, of course, my actions since then have been simply to talk to my teacher, talk to my principal, find out what's going on. I think I couldn't have better support. I really couldn't. And so, my feelings on the entire ordeal. What can I say? I'm sorry. What? For being me? No, I won't even say I'm sorry that someone doesn't like what I drive or wear. I'm not going to. It's not my responsibility to be sorry for someone else's prejudice and bigotry. I had a person ask me if I would change my car or change my looks if I thought it would make things better. I'm not going to change my car. No one else is going to buy me a car, certainly not the school, who can barely afford its own shit. And even if somebody were to buy me another car, it probably wouldn't be a Cadillac. How about my hair? I asked about my hair ahead of time, but this fall when I decided I might like to have purple hair again, I asked. My hair length and the hair color don't go against the dress code. Now, if my teacher or one of the administrators asked me on the basis that they would prefer something more professional, or because maybe my appearance was disrupting classes when I was in them, I would probably be fine with that. When I dyed my hair for the first time this year, I did interrupt classes. Every class I walked into for at most a minute. I had a few students comment in the hallways, passing me, or ask me about it. Kids are so resilient, though, and they rarely hold the same kind of prejudices that adults do. Something changes, they notice, and they move on. How about my nails? Same thing. When I painted my nails, I don't paint them often, and usually when I paint them, the color stays for a few days. As to the trench coat, I've had many students and staff comment that they liked my leather trench coat and my fur coat, which wasn't mentioned in the gripe post about me. Apparently, leather's bad, fur's okay. Maybe from, a mile away they can tell the difference between real and fake leather and real and fake fur, and they're okay with fake fur and not real leather. I don't know. How about my car? My car gets mixed reactions. A few people don't care for it, and that's fine. A lot of indifference, and a few people that really like it. I've specifically had students of all ages from either school, staff members, teachers and non-teachers, tell me that they really like my car. They thought my car was cool. And I think that's great. I do too. And generally, I think people who don't like it just don't say anything. So, what do I think actually happened? And this is tough because I'm basing this off of specifically what I saw and some word of mouth. I think that the original poster, the relative, and a few others were the same people that were heavily involved in a previous incident. When I started driving my car to work, I let the school know that I was getting a new vehicle and what it was. That way, if there might be a complaint, they would be aware ahead of time and not be like,
There's a what parked by the school?
But there was a similar incident when I got my hearse. Bad mouthing on social media, calls to the school. My job. I called my job. My job, who has absolutely zero say in what I drive. They called my school. My job. I got hateful and threatening messages online because of the car. I think that for whatever reason, this person just doesn't like me. They obviously know absolutely nothing about me aside from what they've seen from a distance, heard from someone else, or stalked online. The sibling who has lived here less time than I have decided to feel the same way. This is herd non-mentality. Someone was looking for something to trash me over. Since I'd posted links to my videos publicly on social media, my Facebook and whatnot, they were able to find them. They would have had to look for them, because I can't imagine any search in which these persons could possibly randomly find my videos. And I can also tell you that they didn't watch my videos not very long, because my videos, several of them explain several things that they complained about. Apparently, the biggest thing, according to a couple of people, was they didn't like me using the F word. A word that several people use in a post about me. They didn't like my presentation of a persona. Let's call it acting or role-playing. So they cyber-stalked me, tried to make themselves look tough in a private post, and got brutally nailed to their own cross by people with way more sense and way less prejudice than they have. And so the finale. I really felt like crap over this for a while. It's easy to forget that some people just do things without thinking about the consequences. I should know this with the job that I have. I see it all the time. People learning about making actions and those actions having consequences. The hardest part of this was just trying to wrap my head around it and remain civil. As it stands, thanks to a couple of people who decided to join in on that conversation against me, I won't be conducting business with a couple of people in our town anymore, because obviously they don't think very highly of me. And while sometimes I don't think very highly of the people that I do business with, it doesn't affect my professionalism. But it's not a big deal. I like to go for a drive every now and then, and now when I need some specific things or specific services, I'll just go somewhere else. I should be surprised that an adult in this day and age can have that sort of hate and prejudice for no apparent reason. But then I think back over the past year and the past 4 years, or even the past 30 years of my adult life. And the sad thing is, I shouldn't be surprised. I've run into people like this on and off forever. Not even in regards to myself, in regards to others. People who are different color, different age, different nationality or background, people who fall into the LGBT category, sometimes people with different levels of intelligence or understanding. Though with the reassurance of people who are kind and tolerant, friends, people I know, people I work with, I then put it aside, and then I posted this to my Facebook. If you don't get this, don't worry and don't ask. I won't explain because it's not worth your time. I was going to post a pretty long response to a handful of people who probably aren't worth the time spent. Why hate? Why argue? There's enough prejudice in this world already, but I'll make you guys, you know who you are, a deal. Do your worst. Hit me with anything you can. Because if you're hating on me, maybe that's someone else who isn't getting trashed for their skin color, or their beliefs, or who is poor and can't afford to wear nice clothes, or eat good food. Maybe that's someone else who is just one bad day away from saying, it's time to end it. So I tell you what, I can take it. Give it to me. The point of this message was basically that if you want to fuck with somebody, you fuck with me. Because I can take it. And there are too many people out there who are at the end of the rope. And it just takes one more thing. And it might be something somebody doesn't think is that big of a deal, but it really might be the thing that pushes that person to the end of the rope. And you know what? I'm out of trucks, but I've got a lot of rope. So there are two big positives from all this. There is a distinct possibility that I could perform a wedding in the future. Someone who was not aware of me or my channel, or possibly was aware of me, just didn't know about my channel, didn't know anything about me and my ordainment, was considering using me to perform their wedding. I think that's fantastic. And the second thing is my YouTube numbers and subscriptions. My most watched video on YouTube prior to this had 40 views. As of the time I'm making this video, it has over 270 views. I gotta double check that. I gotta double check that with the mouse. As of the time I'm making this video, my most watched video has 279 views. And so then just checking it, my total views, which amounts to about 900 views across all my videos, has gone up 547 views since that post. So thank you, haters. So, thanks for the cash, bigots. Even though most that should see this won't, I need to send out some thanks. To the bosses that called the bluff and moved on, I owe you both better than beer. Sorry you had to contact the professionals. To my other coworkers, most of you had no clue what happened, and I'm perfectly fine with that. The year's been hard enough since March without adding something else to it. To the few parents and a couple of students, thanks for the backup. It's appreciated. To my friends and sane neighbors, when this COVID crap is all over, we're going to have a big ass party. And lastly, to my partner, thanks for the there, pat, and the get over it. As always, as is required of all YouTubers in all videos, please remember the like and subscribe buttons below. If you have comments or would like to make suggestions on a future video, please leave those in the comments section below. As always, thank you to all my human, demi-human, and other friends. Good night, vampires.